It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for cocktail hour with Rick. I am your host, Rick Serra, here with my wife, Darlene, and welcome to the program. It's a special day because it's also the birthday of my daughter, who was born on January 20th, 19 blankety blank.
Hey, Abby, Valerie Bumberlow, this is my life. Polo Corgi, Mr. D-Pants, he's going for a swim, he'll be back. John C., Maria G., Carson Thorpe.
Yeah,
I hate 79.
An adult too in the world.
New Girl, Roy Quitter, Mega, hello there.
It's so much fun
Trey Baker.
being a child, a young innocent child who is able to play and take naps.
You take naps.
Oh, I'm like a child again where I can play and take naps. Hey there, Mr. Doggy Dog. Good to see you here. I sent you a link. I don't know if you watched. But maybe some of you are aware I popped up a new video. Yes, I did. An edited video, not just a one-off like I gave you while we were away. And I took a little bit of one-offs, put them together along with some other footage, and we were talkative. So figured why not talk on camera. We went to lots of different places. It was really a beautiful area there. Yes. Don't wish these days away when I was 8 and 9. Yes, exactly. I don't think I have anybody on here that young. So is that where St. Augustine is, Ben Dallas? St. Johns County? Yes, we just set up a motel reservation, hotel, whatever.
Scott Bagley saw your video and he liked it.
Scott, thank you. And I saw you in the premiere, Scott. Thank you for being there. Carson was there too. Hello, Trey,
Hey,
Roy
Pamela
Quitter.
Rush.
Nuke Girl was there. Hello, Spin Dallas, of course. Maria G. I love you. John C. I never called you. But I did start a folder, right, hon?
Who started a folder?
I asked you to start a folder.
Okay. Carrie Jean.
So people are still
Yeah,
talking a lot
the place
about.
was beautiful and Wesley was very nice.
Yes. I didn't get to meet his family. He was a little standoffish. He didn't want us to corrupt his family with, having superstars there.
John C. said it's okay. Just call him tomorrow.
Just call you tomorrow. So I set off a little bit of a thing here, a little buzz within the Rick Serra channel family, coming up with an idea for a new program.
We got a birthday song.
We got a birthday to sing? Good.
Yes, Amy V.
Amy V. And Pamela Roosh will be there in February 14th, so we will be there.
Girl Nerd, hello there.
We will see you, and you can be reunited with your favorite furball, Bo. Yes, you can, Pam. So, an ADR commentary, basically, my recollections shooting all of the videos. Now, remember, look at who you're talking about. These recollections might be recreated by me previewing the video of the original episode to remember what the F happened and take some notes and then record after that.
Do you want to sing that Amy V right now?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so we don't forget.
Cheers, everybody, but I'm just drinking coffee to get a little bit of energy. Yes, it's caffeinated. Amy V. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Amy V. Ooh. Happy birthday to you. And thank you for being on the cocktail hour to get a birthday song.
Happy birthday, Amy V.
Anybody in the room who is new to the cocktail hour with Rick, or you've never been with us live like now, we give out a gift to everybody on their first turn around the show. We send us an email, you send us an email, we send you a gift there. Darlene, Sarah has the wrench next to her name, and there's the email, rick.adr@aol.com. We need your name and all the mailing information, zip code, postal code, and wherever you might be all around the world or just here in the United States, we will get you the gift. Yes, we will. So it hasn't been super active, but we had made some sales pretty much in January. But we have to say that any new orders placed tonight or in the next couple of days, wait till us to get landed in Florida, hopefully by Monday the week after. We'll be totally back together again.
Well, any t-shirts or mouse pads, that type of thing.
Of course, if it's merchandise on the website for merchandise, or for apparel, or if anybody has wanted to buy the coat with the hood, the hoodie, or mouse pad, they all would be sent and filled through immediately. The items that we actually
Just the ones
pack
I
and
have
ship.
to fill, I can't send out till we'll
Right.
set up. And Rick has a lot of appointments as soon as we get to
Yes.
Florida.
See, I was supposed to stay here in Baltimore all the way through February to get my latest collection of kidney stones removed. And it is a collection. Hey, Bernie, you're never too late. You're here. Welcome. So I'm getting these kidney stones out down in Florida instead. So,
Stephanie Sandberg.
Stephanie, yes, it is interesting. Just a few days after we get back,
On
on Monday, I will go into the hospital. They do things a little differently. They have to create a tube into my kidney through my wall of my back or side. So they create the tube, and then the next day, the surgeon will come in, use that connection to go into the kidney and remove all the offensive mineral. And then I think they plug it, but they don't remove it then. They remove it the next day. So yeah, it's like a 3-day process. So if I have to be put under anesthesia 3 times, by the time I come out of the hospital,
That sucks, Carson.
I may not speak anymore, or I may speak a few new languages. We'll see what the anesthesia does. No, not the stone blaster. I have one stone in there. It's inside the kidney, and it is 1 inch in diameter. So instead of blowing that up and creating a cajillion little pieces that I'll have to pass over the next month,
I'm going to have to call you Nymph because I don't know how to pronounce that.
and
Yeah,
instead of
he's
that,
crazy about the hospital.
they suck them out. I didn't know that that Dylan had any special medical training to that area, but who knows? If he gets a job at the hospital, he certainly could be part of the surgery group or the operating team, I guess you would call it.
Hey, Alaska.
What is my favorite music, Rick? It's either somebody like Led Zeppelin and my rock side,
Now,
King,
I'll have to track him, Gross, if he does that.
King Crimson. in my progressive rock side, and
Just the window.
Return to Forever, or a few other fusion bands like that.
Yeah, he
Alan
did say
Holdsworth,
suck 'em out, didn't he?
Brand
Doggy
X
Dog.
on my jazz fusion side, and straight jazz. Of course, John Coltrane is probably one of my favorite of the artists, but there's so many great jazz musicians that I love and have followed. In 1959, the year I was born, I collected all of the
Yeah,
jazz
yeah.
releases
You
from
should-
59.
You should.
They were all tremendous.
You should start a band, says Kidney, and the name should be Kidney Stone Mountain Daredevils, says Carson Thorpe.
Well, the last band I was in was called Immediate Jeopardy, and I have,
Robert
what did I
Ryan.
do? Did I post something myself, or I pointed out where Rick Wheatley, the drummer of the band, had posted them
That was
on
Rick's
YouTube?
ex, Robert.
So, but I think I got this from, no, that's right, I got it from Dan Bell. This is footage Dan created that he came to shoot the band when we were going to play. This was around 2010. And for years he couldn't find, and then miraculously about 2 years ago he found it. So on my channel somewhere there's a performance. I guess it would be under Rick's Bits. That's a big playlist there. I put anything that doesn't fit anywhere else there.
So that's where everything is. Hey, Spindella said, did anyone else see a certain angle of the new MLK statue in Boston? From a certain angle, it looks like a giant penis. Well, you know what that brought to my mind?
What?
The George Washington Monument, downtown Baltimore.
Right?
He has a sword, and at a certain angle, the sword sticks out, and you say, now you know why they call him the father of our country.
Because he had a giant schlock. He had wooden teeth. He did not agree with signing the freedom of all man and women into our initial rights. Sad. He smoked cannabis. Good.
Who?
And, he had a farm or estate in Virginia, which I think there's still something there, Mount Vernon, I guess, for people to go and visit. Yes, he was a pot smoking, and I guess he was kind of racist. He was not ready for the people of color to be equal to the people of white. So that's the father of our country. Sorry, we don't have the best characters. Once you look under the skin, it looks good in the history book when everything's so nice and organized and everybody's smiling with their English powdered wigs on. Oh, the fathers of our
Oh,
country.
you need to sing happy birthday to Jen, even though she's not on here.
Well, you could text her and tell her to hop on. I'll sing to her. No,
She's gonna take a shower, and then they're gonna watch a movie.
taking a shower and watching a movie. All right, Jennifer Serra. I'm still cleansed. Yes, it's a lasting effect. We will have to re-cleanse the beginning of February, but
First Friday,
first Friday.
I think,
That'll be the next week after we get in.
February 3rd.
Right, so. It was only 250 years ago. Okay, thank you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jennifer. Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday, Jen.
I love you, Jen.
Hey,
You
Lucy
got-
Oopsie. Don Cathcart. Ponytail Dungeon Master.
You've got my heart. I did a living history at Mount Vernon. Robert Ryan. That's cool. Very good. I guess that's like you wear period clothing and you act out some kind of an activity of the time. I once was watching people down in southern Maryland, and they were tending the plants. They were doing pest control.
Shaylee has been sick.
Oh, she's been sick. Her whole family went down like dominoes with some kind of a thing. I wonder if she's the last one to catch it.
What was the dirtiest room when you did ADR?
The dirtiest room.
Don't think about it too long.
Well, it's probably the West Virginia motels we went to. They were quite dirty, and the funny thing was, the one we went into, thank you, Megadeth Gigantor, I make Friday sweet. They were cleaning the room. It was a mother and son, and it was taking forever. By the time we finally got in, we really couldn't see any evidence of what cleaning had been performed. And then likewise, in West Virginia, we went to this place where it was like the walls were dissolving. And roach infestation was way out of control. So those are season threes. Season 2, when we first got with Brendan.
Jungle room wasn't real dirty though, was it?
No, the jungle room was very clean. We gave it a 4, as I remember. We did find some odd stuff right in the cabinet-like structure at the head of the bed.
What about the one where the woman pooped in front of the
That's
excuse me,
from Buffalo, New York, and the suburbs
and Detroit.
near Niagara. And the soft serve girl was wretched. Then,
Oh, we didn't drive to New Mexico.
oh, we flew. It was long enough. I mean, the one plane ride's like 3 hours, and the other one's like 2.5, something like
I
that.
think total was a little bit longer than that, but there's also a 2-hour time
Yeah.
difference. So we
And then
left here
layovers.
at what time?
We left early.
Yeah, it was in the morning,
Yeah. Take off like 9 maybe at the latest.
something like that. And then we flew to Dallas.
Right.
We had like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half layoff,
And then
layover.
to Albuquerque.
And then into
And on the
Albuquerque,
way home, it was Albuquerque to Houston.
Houston. And we really, the return part was so smooth. When we landed in Houston, we quickly realized we were at the gate where we would leave. They just put a different plane. We were at that exact gate. So that was sweet. The Swan Motel
Hey, Joanne.
was the bloodiest of all. We had a couple very bloody rooms during our time. And although another episode where we found the blood indicating it looked like a young child was crawling through and carried blood. We found little hand and knee, etc. prints.
This is my life. That picture was painted by Rick's cousin for
Yeah.
a birthday present a couple
Yeah,
of
I have a very talented cousin, Gail, who she'll do lots of consignment work. She's
Gary Baba Booey.
not really straight commercial. If you want her, you tell her what you would like to have her create, and she creates it, and of course gives you the price. She's done some very large canvases, but I guess a lot of them are in the medium size like this. And I opted to never get it framed. I thought it looked nice with the
Well, she
the
painted
blue,
the
because
sides.
she painted all the way around the edge so that it didn't need
Oh, right.
necessarily a frame. Would I send her to the UK?
No, would she send to the UK? Oh, I'm sure she would,
I
as long as you paid for
I
it.
don't know, but yeah, I guess so. I mean, sometimes your customers are remote. Um, if you send me a message with your contact information to our
We have
email,
someone from
I will
Finland.
forward it to her.
We have someone from Finland who stopped in to say hi. It's 3 o'clock. They're going to bed.
Finland,
And I cannot say their name. Kanakarhu.
but you
Kanakakarhu.
please come back, but please ask for a free gift. Just send us an email with your mailing address, and then maybe you'll see we have interest in you as a subscriber. It costs you nothing. Just send it to rick.adr@aol.com, and Darlene will promptly send it right back out to you. And welcome from the United States to you. That's not exactly a country that we have a lot of fans from, Finland. Beautiful. Back from my vitamin C.
I think he went for a dip.
Oh,
He was in earlier.
he went into the sea. That's what he calls it, vitamin C, SEA. Mr. D Pants also enjoys trying to
Visual
capture
Victoria,
waves,
hello there.
photography of waves. So he's going to try to do more of that this coming year. And he showed me a sample of some of what he's captured, video that he's captured, and he's already captured some really pretty waves.
No, we don't have snow yet, but I think they're calling for maybe some wintry mix.
Yeah, there's going to be storms that will be north of us coming from the west, the big storms coming across the country.
Sunday
And
it's supposed to be real rainy.
here it's going to be rain.
And where did that go?
And then we'll be
Wednesday it's supposed to be a wintry mix.
gone.
Yeah, we'll be in summer.
We'll be out of here. Kansas City getting a little bit of snow. So Kansas City is ready to bang some helmets in the playoffs this weekend. You think they're going to be able to do it, Mega? Are they going to go all the way? I don't care now. There's nobody I was following. Joseph Murphy, that's great. Well, keep coming back to those videos anytime you want. So glad that we touched you that way. Dan and I, when we hear of such a thing, it just really touches you in your heart to know that we had some positive impact on someone. And I've heard the story in many messages, and I'm very happy every time I hear one. So love and hugs to you.
Yeah, every time I see a carrot now, I think of peonies.
Oh, yeah. The old
We're talking
carrot
about
thing.
eggplants.
Well,
That's what made me
eggplants,
think
I
of.
guess they can be
Yeah, but they
shaped a
use
little bit, but
carrots.
I don't think that anatomically there are humans with genitalia that large as an eggplant. I don't think so. I'm sorry. Not that, imagine that kind of girth. And then one end of it is as big as a volleyball. I'm sorry. I don't think
Everyone,
so.
you have to excuse my pronunciation. Dialia, D-I-A-L-I-A. Yes, he does still talk to Brennan.
Yes, Dialia.
Dialia?
I'm not a liar. Okay, Dia? Yes, it's been a little bit. Of course, the last time we were chatting a bit was when we got together in September and shot 4 episodes in Pennsylvania. And
Sounds good to me, Descend.
I'm wearing this shirt in honor of the 4 videos we shot in Pennsylvania, Dan Bell,
Were they all in Pennsylvania?
with Rick and Brennan. They were all in Pennsylvania. And I wish the future of Another Dirty Room potential for rebirth. And I am going to be in some way rebirthing a part of that experience, at least, when I start to share these, the impressions of Rick, Serra, or
Don't
something
hold
like
your
that.
breath. It's going to take a while.
I'm going to try to shoot my first couple of them when we get back.
Yeah, but,
It'll take a while to get a style.
well, the thing is, Rick, for the first couple weeks,
We have a
you're gonna
landline.
be in the hospital, going to the doctors and all that stuff.
Yep.
So that's why I said, don't hold your breath. It's going to take a while.
The roommate in the hospital is going to have to get used to hearing me talking about episode 1.
Oh, Josh was here. I'm glad you stopped in.
And
I hope it's a good busy you've been.
he's going to call for the nurse and say, "Nurse, please help me. This man in here is talking about all kinds of grotesque things about some motel in Baltimore, Maryland, and I just can't take it anymore. He's making me nauseous." I hope so.
You just never know when to be
So
quiet.
I'm not sure if it was the first episode or if it was the second, but
The dragon side.
I would love to be trapped in a hospital with you as a roommate. Oh, that's so special. How about in an abandoned, haunted hospital with lots of real bad activity?
Oh, that's
But no
nice.
demons, just
Rick.
lots of ghosts. Yes,
The person from Finland,
yes.
he said my grandparents passed in '04. His grandpa was like you. Your goofiness always reminds him of you.
I'm glad I channel
Mike,
your
I'm a
grandfather.
Finnish fan.
Thank you for being a fan. And by no stretch of the imagination are you finished. You're just starting. I hope. Hey, like that.
Oh.
That was so stupid. Oh! And see what
That's
happens?
your first nerf of the night.
First nerf of the night. It's been coming, but I was wondering why she hadn't shot me, but I really hadn't said anything about it. I guess that I'm lucky enough to have
Lucci.
this average
We're
Joe
gonna be in
kind of
Florida
look.
February 4th, Patrick.
Yeah. So sadly, I'll miss that show. I've known about it for a while. You told me before. Patrick Nicolucci of the great band Madhouse is in the room, folks.
Oh, I shot the
And
lights.
it bounced off and then it went into the trash can. Have to get it out. Yeah, I'm going to Florida, Patrick. I'm getting my kidney stones taken care of down there because it was taking everything up here till
That's funny, Carrie.
February 22nd and then a follow-up after that. And I don't want to waste a whole month of my time in Florida up here in the cold and snow. Sorry. But thank you for prayers for my healing. The healing will happen if I get those stones sucked out. Hello, Harley.
There
Welcome.
you are. Soul's in the room.
Hello, Solzicita. She's in the room. And we're in a better room now because Soul is here. So back in the fall, Soul was instrumental in bringing to finality my long-term goal of creating a Bring Back Asbestos t-shirt the way I envisioned it. And it is available. It's on our merchandise
Hey, Robert, we're keeping this one.
website. It's at rickserrastar.com.
Harley 33.
That's Rick and SERRA and STAR.com. And that's it. go there, and you'll be able to follow the easy-to-use website to navigate to merchandise, see what we have. I hope you will try. Enough of that. And I said something in a response to Nancy Santa Maria Latica. She sent me a comment about something, and just to be funny, I answered her in Espanol. I looked it up on my Google.
Antics and Adventures Outdoors, Muddy Trails Explorer. Wow, that's a long
That's a
name.
mouthful.
I'm just going to call you Antics. Yes, he is originally from Baltimore.
Yes, and matter of fact, we're in Baltimore County.
William Clements.
That's our home. It's not our home of residence anymore because we're
a
Florida
triangle.
residents. But this is our home. We paid for the damn thing. It's ours. We did a little more work. Darlene is mainly the painter, and I was the helper.
Oh, good. Gary Bababooey.
Yes.
His mom had good surgery and is recovering.
That is so great, Gary. I caught a glimpse of a message from you about her before, and that was good news that she had pulled through very well. So I hope before you know it, she's back at home after rehabbing and able to do what she'd like. And the tainted love of my joking around about
Wow,
roach
that's a lot of
milk.
snow.
Apparently, some people have been so offended by my suggestion that you should drink roach milk, and it's even more nutritious
Ooh.
for babies than mother's milk. Well,
It wouldn't
It's
be
all-
alone if somebody was with Brandon.
it's all a joke. It is a joke.
We don't discuss that, Charlie, right now. Hey, Romeo's lover.
So, Brennan, he's a very smart man. He has purchased his first
Not
home.
out Romeo's lover as far as we know.
So he purchased basically a duplex. He lives in half and has a roommate in the other bedroom. And then
Holy
the other
Harrison.
half of the house he rents out.
I do too, Shaylee.
So his goal is eventually to do that several more times, to buy property and then convert it into rental income property. And he still, as far as I know, is
We're doing well.
working with Netflix because, they do a lot of their filming in Canada, in Toronto area. And yes, he's doing tremendously. And then he still has time to be able to go back and work on his own YouTube channel. Uncharted Travel.
They're not
and-
new glasses, just, I guess, a pair you found.
Yeah, I have these glasses that she buys in a quantity, and when they get scratched, I just put one down and put another pair on. I should just get rid of the scratch. Yeah, Brennan is also blessed with that kind of a handsome ruggedness that women and men
Trey.
find to be very sexually attractive. And I understand. So I guess you just would have to fight over him. I could just see right now, John C. and Maria G., each have one arm, they're pulling on him, and Brennan's trying to say something, but they keep kissing him, and then the other one flips his head around and kisses him. He can't get a word out. John and Maria, please calm down. Leave poor Brennan alone.
What?
Did you two get that?
I did not.
That's good. Yes,
I did not.
and Brennan is he identifies as a straight male. His pronoun is he-man. Romeo's lover, hello. Welcome to the madness of the Dysfunctional Family Show. How are you? Glad you could come. And Ponytail, Dungeon Master. And one real nerd.
Romeo's lover, we're not sure where they are in
And
the process.
a married person, a married nerd. Just like me, a married nerd. So, I like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yes, he is a tough-looking character.
Don't forget
when
to
he
hit the
was
like
younger.
button, guys.
Yeah, click that like button. We're at 45. If you haven't clicked it, because there's 67 of you in the room,
Congratulations, one real nerd.
you must step out of the chat into the channel, click the box that says live now, like that, and then come back in.
I know.
Thank you very much in advance, because I know that is very tiresome. Yes, you heard your name, Ponytail. What's new? How's it kicking? And Kevin, Peltola, how are you? I want to know more about this Brennan Evangelista of which you speak. Well, he is 23 or 24 now.
Something like that.
He is a little bit on the shyness scale. He's a little withdrawn, but he warms up quickly. He is not a person that cusses. You rarely hear him say any kind of
That's
word
pretty
even
tall.
similar. You know, if he says dirty roof, you know, it's about as far as you can get with him. He really is a positive guy. And, you know, he's got a close family. He loves his mother and father and his siblings and extended family. And it's a good number of family, all up there in Canada. So all I know is that he is like a really good person, and anything good that happens to Brennan, it's due, but it's not because he just was entitled or something. He worked for it. I mean, when he was going to college, he was working with a company installing and maintaining pools, largely in the ground pools.
Oh, that's good, Robert Ryan.
We're working on number 33, which we hit
In
May the 12th. 33 blessed, lovely years. I saw Dolly, she had to shoot me for my expression.
We made it through. That's what matters.
Yeah.
There's always ups and downs.
She pulled out some of my hair and I pulled out some of hers, but she was more often the one that dragged me across the ground.
I drug you across.
Yeah, like a cave woman. Been together 25 years and you were engaged 20 years. And you're going to get married in 35 years? Brennan sounds so smart, and he is. Must be a nice guy. Too nice to hang around with asses like me. But he did anyway. So, never getting married props.
Hey,
Mr. D
all
Pants.
that is a piece of paper.
Well, it does help hold it together. Huge. Hi, Rick. Happy birthday to your daughter. Warm wishes from up north. Thank you, Huge. That was very nice of you. Yeah, she is a special person in my life. Right across the street. She's not doing anything tonight After working a long day and a long week, she's just going to stay at
You're not
home
an ass,
and
you got
watch a
class.
movie. Hmm?
Somebody said, you're not an ass, you got class.
Oh,
Thor.
thank you. You're biased
No,
and brainwashed.
Rick does not have tattoos, but I do.
No tattoos. So I have an idea for everybody. All this talk about money and recession and etc. Just don't talk about it.
Yep, prison tattoos.
Don't listen. Don't talk. Don't listen. Just let that real stuff just fall at your feet and forget it. I need a little tramp stamp down. Was that down here at the crack of my ass? Is that where the stamp would be on a boy like me?
Yeah, honey.
Would it?
It's lower back, right above the crack.
You know what it would say if I had a tattoo put at that location? It would say exit only.
Mr. D-Pants has an idea for your new series.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. D Pants. What's the story? I should be in my underwear when I do it so I'm more vulnerable?
Damn nails.
You're welcome, Spindhouse. What? Can we live in a Star Trek world without money? I think that sounds great, especially the food preparation thing where you just go, coffee. It doesn't just produce the coffee. It creates a vessel for the coffee to be held. And it provided it to you. And it wasn't too hot, but it wasn't cold. It was just right. And if you wanted 2 creamer and 3 sugars, it had that in there too.
Yeah, no,
Amazing.
We'd love to go there. We just can't afford it right now.
To where, honey?
Australia.
Yeah.
Yes, Rick does wear socks with sandals.
Not all the time. I've done it, but not.
Yeah. I didn't say you did it all the time.
About 90+% of the time. If I had something like sandals, open-toed shoes, sports sandals, I'm not wearing socks. I don't know where she's getting this. She must be having a memory from like when we first met or something. Maybe I had like some kind of a toe issue going on and I wore white socks. Was that
you
it?
wore white socks for decades.
Yeah, I used to wear white
In the
socks.
last decade, I've got you to wear black.
No, it's been a little longer than that, but I used to be a big white sock wearer, and I had a reason for it. DJ Infinity ×1. Hello. Thank you very much. I'm about to be one of the first people in America to go on Mario Kart, the ride.
In Super Nintendo Land. In line now. He must be at Disney.
I don't know that, or he's on the West Coast is where he lives. So he might be at Disneyland.
It's still Disney.
All right.
I
So,
didn't say world or land. I said Disney.
so DJ and I have been working on a series of videos under the name of After Hours. And apparently this gentleman has gotten him some kind of a special situation where he gets to be one of the first people to ride this. It's just opening in Super Nintendo Land. And he's in the line right now for that special honor. So is this strictly employees for the park that are trying this out? Is that right, DJ? Visually, Victoria wears Crocs in public. There's nothing wrong with that. She seems to think that's maybe a little bit of,
I have a pair of Crocs. They're in Florida.
I've seen a lot of people wear Crocs. Some wear the little footies, some don't.
Employees and 3 guests are getting on the ride.
Employees and 3 guests.
Hey, if they're comfortable, you wear them.
As I just hope you guys don't fall off the track.
Oh, stop.
God
I got a pair.
bless the people in line at this new Super Nintendo ride in California.
Don't scare people.
Keep them safe and free of harm, even if the carts fall off of the track and go flying in the air.
not very
Let
nice.
them land safely
Stop.
and on their tires so the person's upright, as long as they keep their seatbelt on. Amen.
That was way too much.
Was that too bad?
Yes.
That should be a cleansing. Thank you, Shmedna. Oh, that I was hoping that my goofiness there might have gotten a couple of laughs. It got a couple of shots in the belly too. Yes, and watch out for those banana peels and blue shells. Okay. There might actually be an infestation of cockroaches in the machinery.
Oh.
Watch out. Another hit. Speaking of a hit, I haven't done this yet. I finished my coffee,
Hey, SBJ.
and now I feel so energetic. SBJ,
His back is still jacked.
your back still jacked? Oh, man. SBJ hurt his back. He was cutting a couple of cords of firewood with an axe in the backyard, and his wife told him, "I only need you to do the one cord. You can do the other later." But no, SBJ tells his wife, no, I am really strong man, and I will do all that wood. Remember, it heats you up twice when you're cutting the wood and when you burn it, right? Yes, I am crazy. Crazy for you.
I say
Ooh, I'm
nothing.
crazy for you. Remember that song, Heart? The band Heart?
Crash site.
Crazy, crazy for you. Blah, da, 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 da.
Oh, I'm not cut.
Da, 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 da.
I'm going to hit your head next time because the belly's not
Yes,
getting any effect.
the sisters had a lot better harmony than I'm displaying right now.
I have to tell everybody a little story.
Oh no, a little story.
We went to Albuquerque,
Wait,
New
what?
Mexico.
Yes,
had
we
a
did.
Good time.
We did.
We get off the plane, get our car, go
Yes.
to the hotel room, check in, unload, get back in the car, and the first place we stop is a pot store. What was the name? Everest?
Everest.
Everest.
Everest in Albuquerque. Tell them Rick Serra sent you. It is a good place to go. They're nice people. And remember what it meant when you heard the term bud tender? Well, it used to be, you would take them out of a glass jar and whatever kind people wanted, weigh it up, etc. Now all that's taken away. The bud tender, you don't see them. They're packaging it in the back of the store or somewhere else. So it's already packaged, so you're not getting it loose. In this little store, they still do it the old-fashioned way. They have a bowl that resembled my dog's bow. It looked like one of those stainless steel bowls. And they put the wheat in the bowl. The bowl was already had a certain weight. Then they did the tear in the net. That means the net amount of weight inside. So I got an eighth, just an eighth of an ounce. and a little pack of 4 half-ounce pre-roll joints. There were 2 different kinds of weed, not brands or strains I'm used to. The one was a variety, it was pineapple something or other, pineapple kush or something like that. So Ron John Doe, if you didn't see on my new video, was the fan who was able to meet me and take upon themselves the remains that we had. We certainly weren't going to fly it out of Albuquerque. So I thought maybe I could give it to someone there. And sure enough, we met. Ron, Ron John Doe, he would not let us pay for the breakfast. He paid for it, which I was totally surprised. We usually pick up the tab for those kind of get-togethers with fans. And we had a nice lunch or breakfast, whatever you want to call it. It was like a brunch type thing.
Yes, new girl.
And the biscuits and gravy, according to him, of course, they had sausage too, and they were great.
I wish we
Do you
knew
talk about the
about that
Madagascar hissing cockroach? Is that what the one you're talking about? Those are some big MFers, aren't they? And they're hissing because they do make a lot of noise. Have you ever heard an American cockroach chirp?
No.
They chirp.
Okay, can we get off of cockroaches?
Do you know what cockroaches are related to? Spindowls will maybe be impressed at my knowledge. They're all part of the family of insects under the name Orthoptera. They include the praying mantis, the cicada, the roach, crickets. They're all
They're
in that
related to
same
Mr. D.
insect family, and they are real insects. They're not some type of an arthropod that is not an insect, which is defined as having 6 legs and 3 body parts: head, thorax, and abdomen.
Hey, Exo.
There you go. There's your little bit of science lesson today
Yeah, Mr.
from Uncle Rick to you. Grostradamus apparently, Shaylee thought something was gross. Palmetto bug should be banished to hell. Oh, that's also another orthopteran. That's just a ground cockroach. They live in the natural setting, but they're happy to live in your home if you've invaded
Gross.
their natural setting. And if you're down south, don't worry about those red ants. They'll only hurt a teeny bit.
1,000 times.
Yes, you don't want to get yourself in the middle of a bunch of red ants. It hurts. So what else could we get into? That was your science segment. Thank you, Sol, for helping to do a better job with that. Oh, really?
Hey, Courtney, thank you.
It sounds like chlorpyrifos. That was a very commonly used pesticide. It can cause central nervous system interruptions. I had a case when I was working with a consulting company, and they had been feeling sick for some time.
Here, Mr. D. Pants has a science fact for you.
Oh, Mr. D. Pants does. I'll get back to that story if you'd like.
I hope not. Earth can fit in Uranus 63 times. 64 if you relax.
What does the planet's plasticity have to do with me on Earth? We're talking about Uranus. You might be mispronouncing it Uranus.
I
But
tell
Uranus,
that's how I grew up.
Uranus is located in between your butt cheeks. Just bend over and take a look
When
and
I
give
went
it
to school,
and give it a
they
kiss.
called it Uranus. How do you say it's supposed to be pronounced?
Uranus,
I have never heard anybody call it Uranus.
because you don't talk to scientists.
Thank God.
Yes. It's not Uranus, it's Uranus. No, it's
I believe it's round, but there are flat Earth believers out there.
I don't know
Scientists
who,
about it.
but anybody here heard about the message of the flat earther that that the world is flat and on the edge of our existence is an ice wall? An ice wall? That's it? So apparently, Antarctica and Arctica are the ice wall locations. But
Don't even get into it.
I'm just sorry for all those people that went exploring and went over the ice wall and fell to their deaths. They fell all the way down, down, down to the ground.
Oh, that's funny. Mr. Deepan saw a post from flat Earth people that said, "We have members all around the globe."
What the F? Why did you call it a globe, you doofuses? You contradict yourself with your ad. That's so good. Isn't that funny, Soul? Is that right with Game of Thrones? They had an ice wall? See, I didn't watch it that much to even realize that
Did
was
you
part of
watch
the
it at
story.
all?
Just a little bit, a couple episodes, a little bit this. I liked the one actor who was the short, horny prince character.
Oh, the cheap drawer.
Yes, I like him because just the fact that he just looked down his nose at anybody, did whatever he wanted to. What was a good one?
What about the globe?
Like vegans wanting their food to taste like meat? Yeah, my daughter is a vegan. She really is deep into it. Gradually got into it. But yes, there are foods that they buy. Peter Dinklage, thank you. That have the taste of chicken or have the taste of like beef, like Beyond Burger meat flavor. If you're not eating meat, I agree. Why would you continue to eat these foods that are fake flavored like that? And we find out that these things are made in a laboratory, no meat in it, a whole lot of chemistry. I hope I'm wrong, but Grostradamus doesn't really like when they are cooking the Beyond Burger. Vegan,
Actually, Beyond Burgers aren't bad.
I've never heard of vegan roaches yet. So, like I was saying, this is about 1985, 87. I'm working for a private consulting company. Most of the work we did was related to asbestos. That was paying the bills. But sometimes I got interesting investigations. And this was family, had a home in a neighborhood near Hopkins University in Baltimore. It was a brick home. They had a very old heat system. It had a heating unit in the lower level. It might
What
not
is
be a
this story
basement.
about?
It's about pesticides and exposure to somebody. So during the late summer, they reported insects and ended up being termites. The pest control companies coming in, or company that came in, totally applied chemicals in an unsafe manner. I was told what chemicals were in the products they used. Interview of the people who lived there. they sprayed this chemical on the wood around the edge of the metal grate that was in the floor. Remember those? Metal grate in the floor and the heat came up through the metal grate?
Yeah, I lived
My
in a house.
my mother
like
grew up in a home like that. They were oil burning at first. And they might have been converted to natural gas over years, but the problem was chemicals had been spilled, sprayed down into this opening, this big round drum-like structure when the heat was off. They turned the heat on, and that started to cause the chemicals to revolatilize. And the family, was mom, dad, and child, were exposed to the vapors from this. By the time late fall had occurred, they had so many problems, constant headaches, or the
Can
one
you speak
person,
this story
I'm gonna
up?
try, the one person, they couldn't control their body, uncontrollable spasms. The husband, he grew back his tonsils. They weren't his tonsils, it was the end of his lymph nodes that became inflamed. It was a terrible case. They all got treatment, but the point is, this left them with a lifetime injury from this exposure. And Grostradamus, I'm sorry that happened to you, but it's not the only time this has happened. It's sad. So watch out for this, folks. There's chemicals that are of a nature that we cannot have them in our living space. This is an example. Pesticides are nothing to play with.
Okay, can you get off the soapbox now?
I did it. Oh, well, DEET is not great, but you know that we still use that in insect repellent. Some companies still use it. Oh, asbestos. What a sad thing to know that
Don't get started.
asbestos killed us at the
Hey,
time of the
boatman,
Greeks.
boatman.
It killed us in the time of the Romans. It killed us in the time of the Egyptians. So there was all this literature in ancient texts about using this type of rock that has strings or thread in it, that it will cause you to die of something with your lungs. So what happened in the late 19 or 1800s? A whole industry was created around this dirt that they thought they could make money out of. England did it, South Africa did it, United States did it, and you know what asbestos has done to people. I have a little ad for my t-shirt on my channel under Rick Spitz, but it included some actual real footage from around 1905 of people manufacturing asbestos-containing pipe wrapping. I would take a look at that video just for the information you get by what you see with your eyes. And remember, I made it up to be funny or shocking, so I hope it doesn't bother you that way. Ow! Welcome, Red. Hi, Sexy Rick and Darlene. My house has a rodent problem. Well, get a couple cats, young ones, and don't feed them.
Oh,
And
God.
they will take care of your mouse problem. Potato Kartoff. Is there any problem with cats in the neighborhood? You may want to deflea them first and then let them inside and they will clean your house. Or you can do some other things. The one thing that you need to do if you have something like mice is figure out how they're getting in and close up the points of entry. If you don't do that, you're just going to let a revolving door be created. So there you go. That's your first thing you need to do. If you stop them from entering, eventually they're just going to die inside. Isn't that nice? Inside your wall, whatever. And rats, if you catch rats, you could have rat stew. You could make up some food for the community, for the local soup kitchen. Don't tell them it's rat meat. Just tell them it's a beef stew or something like that. And take a big, nice hot pot of the food down just before it's ready to serve. Nobody will know. And the rats will give all these people a great meal.
Oh, Rick. Not funny.
Not funny, I thought it was.
Of course you do.
Well, roach stew, it's like stone soup. I had stones for the soup. Remember that story? I have a piece of celery. I have a carrot. I have a couple dozen live roaches. Oh, really? That's great, John Waters. Please put them inside the pot. You having a desperate living time? Yeah, Desperate Living. That was a movie by John, an early gross one. Anybody heard of John Waters? No? He's from Baltimore too. Centipede spaghetti. Hey, ever had spaghetti squash? Spaghetti squash, yes. It's good.
I'm not sure.
Instead of
but
pasta,
I think Mexican
people use it.
Coca-Cola still has cocaine in it.
No, I doubt it's not worth the cost.
I'm sure it's not much.
I don't think they put any cocaine in Coca-Cola.
They used to.
They put fentanyl in it.
Oh, God.
Enjoy a nice, rousing, exciting, energizing cup of Coca-Cola, now with fentanyl. She was going to shoot me in the nuts.
Yep.
EXOH, hello. We got 65 likes and 66 in the room. 666. How are you, EXOH? I'm good. Hey, Rick, I'm out now. I have to get out early. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Anytime, please do. Feel free to go to the channel and just view like everything I've ever put up. Yes, that'd be greatly appreciated. And get a few thousand of your friends to do the same thing.
Hey,
Oh, we had so much fun in New Mexico. It's okay, John Doe Rando. We're glad to have you. I hope you did enjoy the video. You are now a star. A star has been born. You have made it to mass media. I hope it doesn't go to your head all at one time, although you deserve it, because you are a star. You're the biggest star in your hometown. Yes, you are. I don't know of any other Albuquerque resident that is as good as you. Stay on late, I need you, bro. My bed needs me too. What is it? It's almost 70 minutes. We have 22 minutes to go. So it's not that close. Calm down. Be safe. Are you drinking anything?
Water. Today, just water. What?
I'm dry. Please. For God's sake. Thank. She stretched slowly to give it to me.
I fixed you butternut squash the other night.
Last night,
Was that last night?
and it was good. Butternut squash.
I had a
We-
small portion of meatloaf frozen. I pulled that out, and that's what I stuffed it with.
And what she did was she cut it lengthwise. So you had two nice pieces of squash
Yeah,
that
I
were
had a half a squash.
nice
And
and
the
tender,
well is where
and
the seeds were.
and where the seeds were, she put some meat in there. Really was good. Butternut, we call it butternut pumpkin. I can see that. It doesn't really have a lot of flavor unless you add a little bit to it.
Well, there was some seasoning on it.
Well, you did. It almost came off as a little bit like a sweet potato because Darlene sort of gave it a little bit of cinnamon and
No, it
sugar.
didn't.
Wasn't in it? Was sugar in it?
Nope.
So it was other seasoning on there. Okay. I don't know what
like
it was.
catfish.
We're going up and down all the food we like. How big do they get in Australia? We've seen that guy who goes and fishes for monsters. He has no hair. He's a thin little guy. It's a fishing show on like A&E or something. Maybe it's on Discovery. I don't know. But I've seen about 6 episodes in all the years it's been on. And a couple of those episodes have been, river monsters. And a couple of those monsters have been nothing more than either carp or catfish. And they are damn big. So like 30-pound eel-tailed catfish, that's a pretty hefty piece of fish, I would say. Yeah, I think catfish can get pretty big almost anywhere. If it's in like a closed little pond and maybe it's been there for a long time, it eventually will be pretty large. But some of these Southeast Asian carp and catfish that I saw on river monsters, these things are river monsters. We're talking 20 feet long, as big around as an alligator or something like that. The Mekong River carp. I think I saw that. That's one of the ones I saw. It was him investigating, and he's being told about fish or creatures that are catching people, basically, and taking them under, taking them whole into their body, giant mouths. And people feared this potential giant fish. Oh, we got a little bit of pest control recommendations going on.
Enjoy your dinner.
I'm glad
And
to
your
see
company,
that.
John Doe Rando. Tell wifey we said hi.
But the poison pellets, the one thing is they must eat enough to die. And sometimes with those, they eat enough to just get real sick. So if it's really big mice verging on rat, I go for a snap trap inside of a box with the openings opened, so you're creating like a pathway. Put that against a wall inside of the area where there's been activity. And you might have to repeat putting it there and reloading it. Peanut butter with some bird seed on top of that. Sticky traps, let me tell you, they're not humane. You want to sleep with mice in your bed? Then don't worry about being humane. There are millions of these creatures in our world. The ones in your house are not going to take away from the species' capability to live on. But if you
We've
feel,
had a couple mice infestations. We had
Yes.
to bring people in.
yep. And with them, they came in with soft bait in little packs, and they just push the baits everywhere because the damn things, they get in your walls. They can walk all the way through your house without coming out into a room, and that's what these things did. So the pest control company I used was a company I saw working in healthcare, and they did such a good job in healthcare. I let them come to my home. And like we did, we used them like 2 years in a row because we just couldn't get rid of this little bit of a tiny field mouse. They're so small, and they're hard to catch in a trap at all. So unfortunately, they eat the baits and they die, and then they desiccate, dry out, and there's probably dead bodies laying in the attic, in the corners, and places like where they were hidden. The one thing, of course, is you want to make sure that they're not accessible by children or pets. So you got to be a little smart about where you're putting them. Truly in a place that the dog's not getting in. Yeah, I find traps are seen by some people as cruel.
Well, I don't like them,
They won't haunt you. What, the
but I don't
ghost
put
of the
toys
mouse? Squeak, squeak, squeak. Squeak, 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 squeak. That's a bat. I'm sorry. Oh, boy. Well, we have a load of Nerf darts on the
around. Yeah,
ground.
but I think you have become immune to them.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
I
yes, you
felt them
have.
all. I felt that one that bounced off my stomach into the trash can.
Yeah, but it didn't make you stop.
Well, honey, it was never any guarantee that it was going to stop anything. The amusement was for you. In the beginning, it was to give you something so you could feel included. You don't want to shoot me now for just saying all that?
Oh, no.
Waiting for your
I'm
time.
going to wait till you
Thank
fall
you,
asleep.
John C. We all need another jam session. What? With the
Yeah, I know, and I really don't want to hurt him. I do want to make him stop.
fat, slow fingers of not fast, not shredding guitarist Rick Serra. Yes, they're so great. I just read that a man became violently ill after consuming rat
I
poisoning
guess so.
on a Taco Bell burrito. Another reason why I suggest you not go to Taco Bell.
Ain't nothing wrong with Taco Bell.
Look, when Taco Bell had a cool animal that they used in its
No,
advertisements,
I never liked that.
I liked it.
Chihuahua.
I liked the Chihuahua, but
I'm not crazy about Chihuahuas.
I don't care about them in general. If you don't like them, so what? So what is this here? Nerf is ass. Rev Scholar said Nerf is ass. That's the whole idea, Rev. She's encouraged.
I always give him kisses.
She doesn't kiss me when she shoot me with these.
I can kiss you
Yes,
in the mouth with one.
the Chihuahua. Yo quiero Taco Bell. As a Mexican, it's definitely an offense to our culture. I can understand that. Definitely. So, one thing about Albuquerque, everybody had a favorite Mexican restaurant, and there were plenty all around town.
And we never went to one.
We went to
saw
the
it.
Frontier,
Yes.
but then we went to a great place for sushi
Yes.
and
And ramen.
and ramen. And then we went to a place with great Italian.
And that was Bravo, I think.
Yeah.
And then that chicken seasons.
Yeah.
That was really good too. We
Yeah.
had a couple really good dinners.
Yep. But then we had a couple
No, I would
mediocre
have loved
ones.
to have tried that, Edna.
What was that?
Asked if we tried Native American fry bread. But we really didn't see any place.
Actually, I saw nothing.
Native
I
American.
looked for, some Native American, maybe some crafters that were selling. No, it was just Americans selling stuff, and there may have been Chicano Latino folks, but I did not see any.
Native American.
I didn't see any Peg Coast people. So, and Italians who love Olive Garden. Oh my gosh, that's like getting crab cake, and you're not in Maryland. I'm sorry for all the rest of you. You think it's crab cake. I was watching a television show last night, NCIS, and they were talking about it pretty heavy, but they were calling it crab rolls.
I think the writers got that little part wrong.
They
because
certainly-
They actually mentioned the area where I grew up, and that's Hamden.
Hamden,
It's in the city.
right.
And they were talking about whatever it was like outside Baltimore County, and then once they went there, they had to go to Hamden.
Right. But it was funny that they all had different points in this particular episode praised that crab delicacy.
Crab rolls.
Maryland blue crab, picked clean, and you make that into a crab cake by using some ingredients with minimal cracker crumb bread, minimum, just enough to hold it together. And usually an egg is what do you call that when you whisked?
Whisk what? You don't
The
whisk
egg.
a crab cake.
The
Oh,
egg.
Yeah.
And use that as the wet ingredient and the crab
Usually
meat.
Egg and some mayo, and
And
of course, Old Bay.
Old Bay, yes. Old Bay seasoning. And fried ice cream. I'm sorry. I've never really liked that. I don't like the ice cream that tastes like, I don't know, it's some kind of a flavor you used to be able to get in bubble gum.
Oh, I don't like bubblegum.
And it's good. And I don't know how anybody could like bubble tea.
Kylie loves it.
She loves it, but I just can't.
I don't like it, and I
Yeah.
thought I would because I think it's tapioca, and I like tapioca. I
Particularly,
like tapioca in a pudding. Oh, that sounds so good, Mega.
yeah, I'm just reading his thing about the carbs are a side effect. Hey, Ace Voorhees, hello. Welcome into the room. Glad to see you here. Gary Baba Booey will be in Florida next week. So don't forget me. Maybe finally I can do something. It's kind of like talking underhandedly, like in a secret code. Ugh. So I was thinking of something, but I'm pushing it.
Good night, Gary Baba Booey.
Good night, Gary Baba Booey. So
Says see you soon.
see you, buddy. We are, not just we, really just me. Sunday night, not too late,
Are you going to do it live?
live.
How are you going to
I'm,
do it live by yourself?
I guess I'll be scared all by myself.
Yeah, but how are you going to do it live?
Well, they have electric in the house.
No, my question. What are
I'll-
you going to do? Stay in one spot?
No, I'll put my camera on a tripod and it'll move it to different places. And I'll also take the other camera. All right, so what am I talking about? Live ghost hunting with me, solo, and you all. I'll probably put up an announcement on Sunday early if I'm really going to go through with it, let you all know in that posting, set up a stream to go live. Like I said, I'm not going to go late. I just want to go after dinner hour for me. So maybe 7:30 we'll start up and we'll go to like 9:30, about 2 hours. So if you would like to join me and see what we come up with, if you got nothing else going on, please join me Sunday night for some spookiness for your entertainment. So you all stay spooky like they say on the Paranormal Files, or they used to say anyway.
Do they really?
Yeah,
Stay spooky.
stay spooky.
Okay.
Whatever. It was a nice little thing. Hey, the channel has done great. It's very successful, especially in terms of its popularity. I think they're somewhere just shy of 1 million subscribers. So I call that pretty good success on YouTube. Ponytail Dungeon Master, finally off work and ready to get ricked up. Oh, I didn't know you were working still. Oh, man. Cheers, Ponytail Dungeon Master. You are free for the evening. Ah. The taste of air is really good. But we are unfortunately not fully energized. I was up late cutting that film and then doing a little this and that to it, and then started it to be uploaded to YouTube. And yeah, I'm not sipping at all, Trey. No alcohol. And just a couple
You took a couple hits.
puffs. Very, very minimal. Just enough to totally take away any pain in the back, which I do have here anyway. Unfortunately, it's not totally gone. I don't mind having to smoke anyway. It's something I
You like having an
enjoy.
excuse.
Have an excuse to get it. Yes. Rev Sculler thinks that you were on the right path there, Dungeon Master. So I don't know what else you guys got planned, but if you're on the East Coast, it's just coming up to 9:30. If you're in the Central Time Zone, it's not even fashionable to be at the bar yet, 8:30. If you're Mountain Time, it's 7:30 almost p.m. And that gives you time that if you needed to start to do the laundry, or if you wanted to watch
It's 1:28 p.m. in Sydney.
in Sydney, it's 1:28, almost 1:30
Trey is
a.m.
7:30, Carson's 8:30.
And this Sunday,
Neil.
the Chinese New Year starts, the Chinese Lunar New Year. And Edna Schmedna, as you know, this is the first year the Chinese are going to be allowed to celebrate the ones in their homeland in China because of COVID lockdown and restrictions. And China's still having troubles, unfortunately. It's not like a zero activity. Remember when we used to be told you want to make sure your infection rate is less than 4%? Well, we're not dead or anything, and it's 11% here where we live for the state of Maryland.
Is it?
So it's still out there. I hope that fewer people are being affected by it over time. And like I've seen advertised, if you feel
Yeah.
real sick,
Do not
don't
drink
mess
on an
around.
empty stomach, potato.
Yeah, get some food in there before you drink any of the alcoholic stuff, or at least after one or two. It's also, not only is it going to make you more high, but it also might give you stomach irritation. You know, alcohol is poison. We just like it. No, no, drink, drink, drink. No, we don't have to drink at every episode, believe it or not.
Just because.
So it was the fairly sober episode, and we are at that point in time, I'm sorry to tell you, where we close down the shop and move to dismissal. Before I do, I want to let you all say hello to my lovely wife, Darlene.
Where'd the Bo go? Oh, he's over there. Hello, all.
And here is my lovely baby, Bo. Bo. Hey, Bo. Hi, Bo. Hi. What a good boy. Aren't you a good boy? Yes, you are. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we wake you up. I'll wake you up. Hmm? You
Hey,
like sleeping?
Soul. Thanks, Carson. Hey, Bo. What are you gonna do? Come up here. Come on.
So we are going to be back in Florida, and should be no reason why
Show him in the window.
that Friday, next Friday, we will be here again.
This is his favorite spot,
8 o'clock
right? Yeah. Good job, good boy.
from Florida.
Okay, you can take it off us now.
So I'll be happy to see you from there next time. And if you haven't seen it, please check out my new video. I think you'll find that it is
Thanks,
beautiful
buddy.
scenery and it's enjoyable. So enjoy if you will. Otherwise, I hope you have a great weekend. And like I said, Sunday is a 70-30 chance I will do it.
Oh, we need some prayers for Soul's grandpa dog. He was attacked by 2 dogs, and he might not make it.
Oh,
That's so sad. We'll be sending prayers your way, Soul.
Soul's
Hey,
grandpa
Joanne.
dog needs our prayers.
Thanks, Shaylee.
Been in a scrap with some other dogs. Let's
Goes
pray
not
for
sale.
healing.
I saw that. How much is that doggy in the window?
I know.
Hey, Amy. Jaw, 1754.
So you all take care of yourselves and your loved ones and your friends, and have a very enjoyable weekend. We will talk to you next Friday. Until then, peace.
Thanks, Shaylee. Good night, everybody. See you
Yeah.
next week.
Bye-bye.